Have you ever thought about how much time your leadership team actually spends on recruitment?
It's a question I think more sales leaders should be asking themselves.
Some studies show it can be upwards of 20% of their time. 20%.
Wow.
That's a huge chunk of their time. That could be spent on other things.
Yeah.
Things that could actually move the needle, like developing sales strategies or coaching their teams.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And of course, in today's business environment, we need every advantage we can get to stay ahead of the competition.
Exactly. So what if there was a way to not only reclaim that lost time, but also improve the quality of your sales hires?
That sounds like a dream scenario.
It might not be as far-fetched as it sounds.
Really?
That's exactly what we're going to be diving deep into today. We're going to be exploring how AI is revolutionizing sales recruitment.
AI in recruitment. That's certainly a hot topic right now. But how is it actually playing out in the real world?
Well, that's what we're going to find out. We've been digging into some fascinating material from the Sales Experts Ltd.
Oh, the Sales Experts Ltd. They're a global sales recruitment company, right?
That's right. They're right on the front lines of this transformation. So they have some really interesting insights into how AI is being used to find, assess, and ultimately hire top sales talent.
I'm intrigued. Where should we start?
Well, I think a good place to begin is with one of the biggest pain points in recruitment, sourcing.
Finding those ideal candidates.
Yeah,
That can feel like an endless task.
it really can.
Yeah.
Traditionally, sourcing involves spending countless hours combing through online job boards, scrolling through LinkedIn profiles, contacting people on professional networking sites. It's a lot of manual effort, and it can be incredibly time-consuming.
It's definitely a grind. And you're not always guaranteed to find the right people, even after all that effort.
Exactly. But this is where AI is starting to make a real difference. AI-powered tools are now being used to really hyper-target that search process.
Hyper-target. What does that mean exactly?
Well, instead of just looking for certain keywords, AI can actually analyze vast amounts of data from across the internet. We're talking about millions of data points from social media profiles, online resumes, professional networking sites, you name it. And it's not just about finding people who have the right job title.
So it's going deeper than that.
Much deeper. AI can look for specific skills, experience, even personality traits that align with the ideal candidate profile. For example, let's say you're looking for someone with a proven track record of exceeding sales targets in the software industry.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty specific requirement.
AI can actually sift through all that data and find individuals who not only have that experience, but also consistently use language in their online profiles that suggests a strong understanding of consultative selling or a data-driven approach.
So it's like having a super-powered recruiter who can work tirelessly without ever needing a coffee break.
That's a great way to put it. And it means that your human recruiters can spend less time sifting through irrelevant applications and more time actually engaging with the most promising candidates.
That makes a lot of sense. But what about after you've identified those potential candidates? There's still the whole screening and assessment process to go through, right?
Oh, absolutely. And that's another area where AI is proving to be incredibly valuable. Think about how much time is typically spent reviewing resumes, conducting phone screens, scheduling and conducting first-round interviews. It's another massive time sink.
Yeah, and let's be honest, it can be pretty subjective too. Different people might interpret the same resume in different ways.
You're right. There's always a risk of bias creeping into those early stages. But AI can help us overcome that challenge. It can bring a new level of efficiency and objectivity to the screening process.
Okay, I'm listening. How does it do that?
AI-powered systems use something called natural language processing, or NLP. Essentially, NLP allows the AI to read and understand human language. So it can go through a resume and extract the most relevant information based on the criteria you've defined for the role.
So it's not just looking for specific keywords, it's actually understanding the context.
That's right. It can identify patterns and correlations that a human reviewer might miss. It can also compare candidates against a database of top performers to see how they stack up.
Wow, that's impressive. So it's really taking the guesswork out of the equation.
To a large extent, yes. And AI isn't limited to just resumes. It can also be used to power chatbots.
Chatbots. How do those fit into recruitment?
Well, imagine having an AI-powered chatbot that can interact with candidates right from the start. It can ask them pre-screening questions, gather information about their experience and qualifications, even provide them with basic information about the company and the role.
So it's like having a virtual assistant who's available 24/7 to answer questions and keep candidates engaged.
Exactly. It helps to streamline the process, make it more efficient, and ensure that candidates are getting the information they need in a timely manner.
I can see how that would be a huge benefit for both the candidates and the recruitment team. But let's talk about the candidates for a moment. We know that top sales talent is in high demand. So how can companies ensure that they're providing a positive candidate experience throughout the recruitment process?
That's such an important point. In today's competitive market for sales professionals, a positive candidate experience can make all the difference. And AI can actually play a significant role in creating a more personalized and engaging experience for candidates.
You mean like those personalized email marketing campaigns we see all the time?
It's similar to that, but even more sophisticated. AI can be used to tailor communication to each individual candidate based on their background, their skills, the stage of the recruitment process they're in. It can also be used to streamline things like interview scheduling, so candidates don't have to jump through hoops to find a time that works for everyone.
So it's about removing friction points and making the process as smooth as possible for the candidate.
Precisely. And remember, those chatbots we talked about earlier, they can be used to answer candidates' questions in real time, providing instant feedback and support. This all contributes to a more positive perception of your company, which can be a major advantage in attracting top talent.
It sounds like AI is really changing the game when it comes to candidate experience, but what about the hiring managers themselves? How can they be more confident that they're making the right hiring decisions?
That's where predictive analytics comes in. And this is one of the most exciting areas where AI is being applied in recruitment.
Predictive analytics, that sounds pretty high tech.
It is, but it's also very practical. Essentially, AI can analyze historical data on your past hires, things like their backgrounds, their skills, their experience, their performance metrics. And it can use that data to identify patterns and characteristics that are strongly correlated with success in specific sales roles.
So it's like having a crystal ball that can tell you which candidates are most likely to succeed.
In a way, yes. It's not about fortune telling, of course. It's about using data to make more informed hiring decisions. So instead of relying solely on gut feeling or traditional interview techniques, you can leverage these predictive insights to identify candidates who are statistically more likely to not only perform well, but also thrive and have longevity within your sales team.
That's incredibly valuable for sales leaders who are under constant pressure to build high-performing teams. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of the hiring process.
Exactly. So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, but before we wrap up, I'd love to get your thoughts on some key takeaways for our listeners. What are some actionable insights that sales leaders can take away from this conversation?
Well, I think the most important takeaway is that AI is no longer just a futuristic concept. It's a practical tool that is already being used by leading sales organizations to transform their recruitment processes. And if you're not already exploring how AI can help you find, assess, and hire top sales talent, you're falling behind.
I completely agree. This isn't about replacing human recruiters. It's about giving them the tools and insights they need to be more effective. So what's a good starting point for sales leaders who are interested in incorporating AI into their recruitment strategy?
I would recommend starting by identifying your biggest pain points. Are you struggling to find qualified candidates? Are you spending too much time on manual tasks like resume screening? Once you've identified your biggest challenges, you can start to explore the different AI-powered tools and solutions that are available. And don't be afraid to start small. Even implementing a pilot program in one area can help you see the benefits of AI firsthand.
That's great advice. And there are plenty of resources available to help you get started. The Sales Experts Ltd, for example, has a wealth of information on their website about how AI is being used in sales recruitment.
They also offer consulting services to help companies develop and implement AI-driven recruitment strategies. So if you're feeling overwhelmed or you're not sure where to begin, reaching out to experts like the Sales Experts Ltd is a great first step.
It really is. And as we wrap up this deep dive, it makes you wonder just how much further AI will advance in the coming years. And how will the most successful sales organizations use these emerging technologies to not only find top talent, but also to shape the future of their sales teams and unlock unprecedented levels of sales success. It's an exciting time to be in sales, and the possibilities are truly limitless.
I couldn't agree more. This is just the beginning of the AI revolution in sales, and I, for one, am excited to see what the future holds.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. It's been a fascinating conversation.
It's been a pleasure. I always enjoy talking about the future of sales.
And to our listeners, we hope you found this deep dive informative and inspiring. If you're ready to start leveraging the power of AI to transform your sales recruitment process, don't wait. The future of sales is here, and it's powered by AI.